Yeah, Yabi, I'm just curious if you could take us through the process of how you ended up at Michigan in mid-August.
I mean, at the end of the spring ball at my old school, I looked at my credits, how much credits I had left, and talked to my grandmother. My grandmother was just like, you need to like try to graduate as soon as possible. And I really listened to like, ever since like, with Bama me transferring, I've really tried to like, listen to whatever my grandma says. So like, I just took that on a whole nother thing, like, all right, boom, I'm gonna try to work out, but all I'm worried about is like, graduating. So I graduated, I wanna say, the end of July. And like, I had a couple schools reach out to me, like, some Power 5. And then I was just still like, being patient, waiting around, and then just looking to see like the right fit, hoping that like, some of the old schools that offered me, like you were gonna offer back. And then they started coming in towards the end. And Michigan had reached out, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm coming home, definitely gonna come home. The original school I was looking at, my career, and I have some of my guys here, Blake Corum, Nakai Green, Derek, so just a perfect fit.
Go out to the far middle there, Brian.
Yeah, can you put into words how Mozzy makes your job, Mike's job, some of the other guys on that defense
Mozzy's a beast. Mozzy's a beast. Mozzy's he's an unsung hero, bro. Like, Mozzy does a lot of dirty work, takes on like double teams that like, he doesn't get a lot of credit for. Like on that pressure, no one knows that Mozzy took 2. That's how I got so scot-free, you understand what I'm saying? Like, Mozzy makes my job a whole lot easier. People like him, Chris Jenkins, Mason, the freshman, like, them taking up double teams or like really like beating up those guards and centers. When it gets time for us to like do those pick games or come underneath, it makes it so much easier because they're so used to a big guy doing it, so they're trying to like, power scoop and do all that, and we just run right by.
On the left side there, Brandon. I'm sorry, Isaiah, my fault.
You said like coming to Michigan or like coming home back in your original recruitment when you picked Alabama over Michigan. How close was Michigan at that time?
It was really close. Like honestly, at the time of when I chose Bama over at Michigan, I was really just like, I was real young in my career, really just okay, boo, roll tide, like it was a whole little wave going on. I had some guys from the DMV up there, and Terrell Lewis, he's now in the NFL, like he was a big part of my recruitment, and Trayvon Diggs, like, those were my hosts, and I knew them previously from them being from the DMV, so it was like, we kind of clicked immediately, like when I went on the business and stuff like that, and it kind of made me feel comfortable. But since I left there, I still keep in contact with them, and they're one of the people that like, after I made this move, they're like, hey bro, that was a great move, that was a real smart move. Like, they still call me and mentor me and tell me when I'm doing things right, when I'm doing things wrong, what I got to improve on, things like that.
Also, kind of piggybacking off of that, now that you are at Michigan, based off what they were telling you about this place, how much does expectations and reality, how do they converge?
I feel like they're pretty equal. This is like a blue collar team. Like, what you see is what you get. Like, you work for every snap. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we have some coach, Jay Harbaugh has said something, I want to say like 2 weeks ago about recommitting ourselves, like, every single week, every single day. And like, that's what we have with this team. Like, you have to recommit every single day. Like, it's football, so no one's going to be 100. No one's going to feel like, great. But it's like, how bad do you want it? You understand what I'm saying? And just like, you're playing for the man next to you. You feel me? Like, man next to you is going 100%. So why are you going to like, half-ass? So just like that.
On the far left there, Michael.
Yeah, what were some of the circumstances that led to your departures at Alabama and Houston?
Like maturity. I'm gonna be real. Like, me personally, it was just a hard time adjusting to not being able to play like immediately. Like, certain things were said that didn't go immediately, but you live and you learn. Like, everything happens for a reason. It happened, and I grew from it. I didn't let it like harvest me, and like I'm here today.
Staying on the left side there. I'm sorry, Michael.
I'm not sure if you have NFL aspirations, but if you do you think teams will hold that stuff against you?
No, because like life's all about adversity. It's not about how you start the race, it's about how you finish it. Like, of course, everyone's gonna be held accountable too for their actions, but it's also going to show that, okay, within the time period, what have I accomplished? Like, did I stop? Did I give up? Did I take the easy route out? Or no, did I stick it through? Did I graduate? And like, did I go through like redirect my narrative.